we're going to talk about that in a minute. We got Chip back on the line. Chip, come on in here.
All right. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Well, we're glad to get you on here. We got a couple of events coming up here this Saturday, June the 10th, and we wanted to clarify what these events are and where they are. And I appreciate you taking the time to call in.
Absolutely. I appreciate your help getting the word out. I'm associated with Act for America, and we're having an event this Saturday from 10 to approximately 2 p.m. this coming Saturday. It is a rally basically against Sharia law in America and also for human rights. They go hand in hand, as you know. Islam, there is no Islam without Sharia. I don't care what anybody says or tries to tell you. They both go together. They must be together. I was recently at an event. It was put on by Muslims, and I questioned them in that. I know you're obviously Muslims. I said, but don't you have to have Sharia law for that? And they said, yeah, absolutely. We want Sharia law. It is our laws, and that's what we prefer, as opposed to the Constitution. And so I said, well, okay, with Sharia law. They said, well, and this is what they'll tell you, they said, well, Sharia law is just our laws. And I said, okay. And they said, do not steal, do not commit adultery, what have you. And I said, okay, now let's take stealing, for instance. Don't you cut people's hands off if they steal? And they were like, well, no. They were like, no, that wouldn't happen in this country. I said, okay, let's look at adultery. Haven't women been stoned for adultery? And it wasn't long after that the meeting was totally shut down. My point is that, and there were other things said in exchange, and, they were trying to accommodate my questions, and be honest at the same time. Now, let me just say that there is a technique, and I'm sure you're aware of it, Doc, called taqiyya.
Yes.
Which is in the Quran, and Muslims are allowed to basically deceive, lie, cheat, whatever it takes to get the upper hand.
Not just allowed, Chip, they are encouraged to lie,
there you go.
Cheat to get the upper hand. You get extra points in Muslim heaven if you can do that.
There you go. So you never really know. You never really know where you're coming from. So Sharia, though, does. And we're seeing what's happened in Europe. It's obvious. I mean, nobody can deny it. I'm sure that they were saying they didn't want Sharia there either, and now they have 90 courts in the UK. Okay?
Indeed.
90 Sharia courts in the UK in their own enclave of where they reside. And so we want to get out ahead of that. I've said it before. The only reason why we're not having the problems that they're having in Europe is we've got an ocean between us. They don't.
True that.
We need to get out ahead of this and really take a stand now, not later. Not when it's too late, like Europe, basically, but now we need to take a stand against Sharia law and the inhumane rights of Sharia law, such as honor killing. That's gone on in this country.
We've had honor right here in Houston.
Killing, of course, female genital mutilation, a lot of different things. People have been, killed for all kinds of reasons. Including being an apostate, which is deciding you want to leave. Islam, which is a huge no-no. The sentence is death, according to the Quran. And it's practiced in many other countries, and it's actually happened here. So we want to bring awareness to this. We're not coming against Muslims, per se. We're really not. What this is about is making people aware of Islam, of Sharia law, of the atrocities that have gone on in the name of Allah. Okay,
Well,
right here in the United States.
Well, I have a lot of problems with Islam, and quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, Islam is the problem. It is the problem.
I agree.
You don't want to be around if a Muslim gets religion.
Yes, absolutely.
So we've got that problem. Also, I've got calling in on the other line here. I've got Kelly Cannon. Kelly, first of all, I want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And secondly, you've got your own problems with Islam up there in Arlington.
I haven't been following that very much.
Well, there is. I mean, I've read about it. What's going on up there?
I mean, it's not good. It's not good anywhere. But we're just trying to maintain right now. I'm obviously way against Sharia law, and I don't see how they can possibly think that it could ever integrate into our constitutional republic type law system. So
that's right. It's impossible.
I mean, they're going to have a tough road to hoe. They really are.
Well, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but it is so you can agree or disagree or no comment, but it is, in my opinion, Islam is incompatible with civilization.
Completely incompatible.
Yeah.
I mean, Western civilization as it is their number one target. And we've got to stay vigilant. We've got to stay aware, and we can't put our heads in the sand.
Well,
yeah,
I want to get down, Chip.
I just wanted to say, Doc, that the thing is that, and they came up to me afterwards when I had this, was speaking at this event, this Muslim event, and they said, "Oh, well, you're not finding the information in the right place. Where do you find it?" I said, "Well, I've watched some videos of imams and clerics talking. I think that's pretty clear. It's."
You can't trust those imams and clerics, he said.
Yeah, right. I mean, I said, I've read up on this. I mean, when I mentioned about Takia and some of these other things, they looked at me like, how does this guy know all this?
You know what I mean?
That?
Yeah.
I've done my research. And I really feel that I'm personally a watchman for the nation, as I know you are, Doc, and others. And we need to speak out boldly. I mean, forget the PC, man. Forget the PC. We need to speak out boldly what's really going on and make people aware. Make people aware of what's happening and what it's really about. We need to expose.
So we got two events coming up this Saturday in Houston, and you're doing the event at the San Jacinto Monument. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually it's in LaPorte. At the down by the monument. We're actually, and I wanted to clarify this. It's down in the plaza area, but we're actually at the Battleship Park. So they're right next to each other.
Okay.
But we're not actually at the monument. We're at the park where the battleship is.
Battleship Texas.
Yes, the Battleship Texas, exactly. And it's 3523 Independence Parkway, LaPorte, 77571. Again, that's 3523 Independence Parkway, LaPorte, Texas, 77571. And we're inviting people, bring your American flags, bring your patriotism, and join us. These, Doc, I know you've been to protests as I've been to a protest. It is absolutely powerful and empowering, and it's really taking a visible stand, not only in the natural realm, I'm a minister, but also in the spirit realm, against things that are not good.
Well, if you're a minister of the gospel, you have to take a stand against Sharia law and against Islam because they are antithetical. And they cannot peacefully coexist. It's not possible. And I always love to see those people with the coexist stickers on the back of their car, and which is something you never see on the back of Kelly Cannon's car, I can assure you. But
never. Listen, there's another event going on. It's not completely related to Islam and all that. But it's related to Antifa, and whether that's related or not is beyond me. But there's another event. They want to take down the Sam Houston statue, the one that's in Herman Park.
Correct.
And apparently there's some kind of an event going on at that statue.
Yes, 10 o'clock Saturday morning, June the 10th. And,
right.
And that's my first stop.
Texans.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think people should go there, and hopefully we want to get an overflow to this event, because they are. I mean, there is a parallel with these events. It's taking a stand against trying to wipe out our Judeo-Christian history and identity. So they're very much related. We've already gotten feedback from lots of people that are going to go to both events, as they should, and I think that's great.
Good.
Well, that's what I wanted to clarify.
As Doc can tell you, I'm an 8th generation Texan, so that one in Herman Park just makes my blood boil. So
well, it should.
They want to whitewash history. And I'm sorry, but Sam Houston is one of our founders in Texas. And so...
Well, Kelly, I think they want to rename Sam Houston for somebody a little more socially acceptable, like Tupac Shakur.
Oh, no. Oh, I love you, Doc.
Tupac City, folks. No, get rid of that Houston stuff. I mean, after all, Sam Houston may or may not have supported slavery. The rumors are that he did not support slavery. That was one of the problems. That was one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Go see Hillary's America.
But release them.
That'll clarify the Democratic Party.
Well, it certainly does. Well, Chip, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show and bringing that. So it's going to be at the Battleship, Texas, there in the park, 3523 Independence Parkway. Now, your event also kicks off at 10 o'clock. And I've already committed myself to doing the Herman Park event at 10 o'clock, but I'm going to swing down there about noon and join your event. And hopefully they'll both be well attended. A lot of people are going to do that. And I think let's just make it a day of it, of taking a stand for America. Well, God knows there are few enough of us that will do it. Kelly Cannon is one of those few. I've seen her at so many different events. I've seen her in Austin at the Capitol many times. And so...
You've even seen me in Wichita.
Yeah, you even went to Wichita, for crying out loud, for one of our events up there.
Wow.
Yeah, I go everywhere.
A commitment.
Well, she's just pretty awesome. I wanted her to call in today because today is her birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday. God bless you. Really.
Thank you so much. It's always nice to talk to Doc, but especially on my birthday. So. Oh, and I was also at the RPT chair thing, last weekend. That was amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I got to talk to you. How did that happen?
No, you didn't. Well, first of all, I ran into the mighty Craver. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, Claver was there. Yes, he was.
Looking good as ever. But I was there for the whole thing just as a spectator. I'm a precinct chair up here in Tarrant County, the reddest county in the reddest state in the country. So if Tarrant County falls, we're in trouble.
Go, Kelly.
So I went down there as a spectator, and it was just glorious. I saw for the first time the real magic of grassroots, and it worked. He won by 1 vote, and the whole room just erupted when they called out the votes. It was just wonderful. James Dickey is our new RPT chair, and I couldn't be more happy.
Well, neither could I, Chip. And I don't know if do you know about the SREC, Chip?
I'm not familiar with that. No, I'm not.
Well, the SREC is in my mind, the single most powerful political body in the world. And I say that because the State Republican Executive Committee in Texas is the leaders for the largest political organization in the entire world, and that is the Texas Republican Party. And a lot of people don't know that. The Texas Republican Party is the largest political convention in the entire world.
Wow. It is. I honestly did not know it.
9,000 delegates. 9,000.
Yeah,
every other year.
Wow.
And
it's just huge.
a happy participant for the last 3 sessions.
No wonder they're trying to take down Texas so bad.
Well, they do, and they're working at it, but fortunately people like Kelly are gonna keep that from happening. So up for the last, as long as I can remember, quite frankly, as long as I've been in Texas, we have always had a lukewarm, milquetoast, Democrat-leaning leader of the Republican Party in Texas. And for the first time since I can remember, we have elected a true Texan, a liberty-minded individual, as the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. And as Kelly mentioned, by 1 vote. And I'm under the opinion that if it had not been for Jen Wright's election, he might have lost that. What are your thoughts on that, Kelly Cook?
Kelly Cannon.
Kelly Cannon, excuse me. I'm sorry. I get my Kellys mixed up. No, Kelly Cannon.
Cook and Kelly Cannon.
Two different
We're
people.
easily confused because we're just alike.
Well, you're both liberty activists and you're both cute, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, what I like to brag that it was my SD10 girl that got in and voted the correct way, because prior to that vote that same day, we had we had to have a special election for our senatorial district because the person who was our committee woman sadly passed away, Marie Easterly. And so we had to have a special election before the chair vote. And I like to claim that it was her that was that extra vote.
Well, I think it was.
Even though I knew that there were 2 girls in the running, they were both fabulous. But and I knew how they were both going to vote, and it was going to be for the same guy. So
okay.
I like to say that, she put it over the top, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, and so who actually got the seat?
Very good woman. Her name is Susan Wright, Wright. Now she's going to tell me don't advertise that I did that, and I'm like, okay. But,
all right, sorry, Susan.
That's okay. But her husband, Ron Wright, is the county tax assessor up here in Tarrant County, and thanks to him, none of the red light camera citations in Tarrant County are enforced because of his office.
Woo!
So,
All right.
Huge debt of gratitude.
And Kelly has been one of the absolute top quality people that have led the fight against red light cameras in Texas, which, by the way, is a violation of the Texas state constitution and a violation of the American Constitution.
Indeed it is, sir, and I wish more people understood that. And I wish, for instance, State Rep Jeannie Morrison wouldn't have sat on not 1, not 2, but 11 red light camera ban bills in her committee. Sat on them. They died in committee thanks to one person, Jeannie Morrison.
Well, who's going to be her primary opponent? Who is Jeannie Morrison's primary opponent?
I've got feelers out already for that, and I will be supporting, block walking, contributing, whatever it takes to get a primary opponent in her seat. I want her replaced, along with Strauss. I'll be down there in San Antonio a few times over the next couple of years too. I mean, I don't keep everything just in Tarrant County. I want this whole darn state to be better.
Yes. Man, you're fired up. That is awesome.
Oh, she is awesome, and that's why we're glad to have you here on the show today so we can celebrate your birthday.
So, thank you.
So the Red Night
project I'm working on, if you want to hear about it, it's kind of big.
Yes, let's have it.
It's not as big as a statewide. Well, it's not as big as a statewide ban on red light cameras, but I am going after the mother lode here in Tarrant County. Believe it or not, even though the red light cameras are unenforced in this county, Fort Worth is the biggest scam of them all. They have over 50, maybe 60 different cameras throughout the city, and 4 of them are entrances into Arlington. And so every time I see one, it incenses me. And so I'm starting a project right now to do the same thing we did in Arlington, and that's a petition drive and a ballot initiative for Fort Worth. And look for that election in November of 2018. We can't do it any sooner because of technical stuff. But anyway.
All right. You hear that, Pastor Mark? We need you involved in that. Pastor Mark Z, he's up there, and he is very active as well. He's also very active in the anti-Sharia movement since he lives next door to a mosque. and he pastors a church up there in Fort Worth. So, which I will not name on the air. And nonetheless, we're standing against all of these things. Now, I'll tell you how I handle red light cameras. I haven't gotten one in several years, but the last red light camera I got, every time they'd send me the ticket notice, I would just write on there red ink, "I ain't paying. This is unconstitutional." And I kept doing that. I did that about 3 times, and of course I got the one that says, "Well, you're not going to be able to re-register your vehicle if you don't pay this ticket. You're not going to be able to get your driver's license if you don't pay this ticket." Well, let me tell you, I re-registered my vehicle. It wasn't a problem. Getting my driver's license was not a problem. It's all a big lie. Yeah.
Wow.
So just don't pay them. When you get them, do not pay them.
Wow.
Amen.
You know, I just wanted to add, Doc, that this is actually a nationwide rally and protest against Sharia law.
Yeah, the Act for America.
Rights.
There's something like 30 events going across the United States, I believe.
Yes. There's about 30 events now, and they're still adding on. So this is really catching on because we need to stop this now, not after it's too late, not after Europe, not after UK, France, and all that mess. We need to get ahead of this, and we will. But we really need people to come out. I mean, as you know, Doc, and Ms. Wright, that it makes a difference to get people out of the closet and on the streets and peacefully demonstrating, just showing up. People just showing up it really makes a difference. And the more people that show up, the better. And we really need a great showing on all these events that are coming up to take this nation for God, for if we want to remain Christian Judeo principles and a nation, then we've got to fight for it. We've got to be, and I don't mean fist fights, but I mean we've got to be willing to stand, come out of the PC closet, and really take a stand and push back on this, and not only push back, but take back the land.
Absolutely, we do.
You know what's the most effective tool? The most effective tool is numbers. We got to get more of them. More of us than them.
And there are. They just have to show up.
Exactly. Yeah.
There are more people. I mean, people are aware that, but get out of that comfort zone and just coming out, you'll meet new friends. It's really a great time. I mean, I've been on many protests, and I just really enjoy it, and it really does make a difference. And it catches the opposition off guard.
Well, we've got to do these things, and we've got to do them together. We've got to do as much as we can to stop this if we're going to solve this problem. Because as long as Islam is allowed to exist in America, we are at risk for being just like it is in France, being just like it is in England, being just like it is in Belgium. In fact, being just like it is in every country where we have Muslims.
Yes.
And Poland, of course, has stood up against the Islamic invasion, and they don't have any terrorist events. But we have had them here in Texas. Fort Hood, 19 soldiers shot because of political correctness and Islam. And that's just one of the several events that we've had here in Texas, but nobody reports
what about
those.
in Irving, Texas? What about that? Thank
Garland.
God there was
Garland and Irving. I mean, we had...
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it is, I agree with you. Poland has taken a stand. I said the same thing. Japan basically doesn't allow Muslims. And guess what? No terrorist attacks.
Yep. So there you have it.
Same with Poland. Same other countries have really banned Muslims because they know that it's too extreme, it's too radical, it's too dangerous to their citizens. Why we have to think that we have to embrace this it's not even constitutional. So, it's really, really time to take a stand.
Well, we're going to do it, and I want to, Chip, thank you for joining me here today, but I'm not going to let Kelly get away before I sing happy birthday to her, so you're going to have to endure that.
Oh, boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kelly. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you.
Well,
that was awesome.
You're welcome.
That's a great work.
Not every day Doc Green gets to sing me happy birthday.
And indeed, I think it's a first on the show. But nonetheless, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you back, sir. Listen, I got to run. I got birthday stuff to do.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go, and I know they're going to treat you right. And we're going to be right back on the Doc Green Show with Captain Tommy Attaway. So y'all stick around. We got Texas history coming up.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome.
You just defended yourself with a gun. The police are called, and you're potentially involved in a homicide. But it was self-defense. At this point, you are not in your right mind. No one ever is when they are in fear for their life and defend themselves. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law, both civilly and criminally. Fortunately, you have selfdefensefund.com. We are the National Association for Legal Gun Defense, and we protect our members nationally in all 50 states, up to $1 million per incident per member. Let us do the talking for you and visit selfdefensefund.com. Any weapon, any state, anytime.
Run away. Seems so very funny.